Here, let's look at some of the basic definitions to get us started in statistics. And the first question is, what exactly is statistics? Well, there's a couple of different ways you could answer that question. The dictionary defines statistics as the study of collecting, organizing, analyzing, and interpreting data. But another way to say it is it's just the science of uncertainty and extracting information from data. We're trying to extract information from data and see how certain or uncertain something will be. So now that we have a little bit of a better understanding of exactly what statistics is, the next question is, who is actually involved? And there are 4 different answers that we can look at that. The first is going to be, what is a variable? A variable is the characteristic that is being observed or measured. This is whatever we are either observing or measuring. It could be things like height or weight. It could be male or female. It could be your religion, your political party. And it could be lots of other things. Whatever it is that we're actually looking at, the characteristic that we're actually trying to study, that is the variable. So that tells us what we're studying, but not who. And for that, we're going to look at 3 different things. The first is going to be individuals. Individuals are the people or objects that are actually included in the study. These are going to be the individual, either people or objects, that we are collecting these data and getting the variable information from. And so every single person or object in this study is going to be an individual. We also have what's known as the population. And a population is every individual of interest, everyone that we are interested in for this study. Depending on what the study is, maybe we're looking at all adults throughout the world, or maybe we're looking at all Americans, or maybe we're only looking at everyone between a certain age group in a particular state. There's lots of different things that the population could be, but it's everyone of interest that you might want to apply your research and study to. And as we're doing statistics, anything that describes a population is known as a parameter. So anything that talks about the entire population as a whole is known as a parameter. However, doing something for an entire population can be tricky. If we want to consider everyone in the world, or all adults, or even all Americans, that would be a lot of people that we have to go in and talk to or perform some experiment on. And that can be very time-consuming and very expensive, and that's usually not what we do. Instead, we have a sample. A sample is just some of the individuals of interest. Like I said, most of the time it's very, very difficult to actually do a statistical study on an entire population, so instead we get these samples. We just take a group of the individuals of interest and perform our study on them alone. And these, if we have something that's describing a sample, it's known as a statistic. And collecting this sample can be kind of tricky. In a later video, we'll talk about different ways to gather samples, but for now we are just going to define it and realize that these are just the group of people that we're actually going to want to study, rather than trying to spend the money and resources to look at the entire population. Let's consider a specific example. Let's suppose you work for a local TV station and you want to see how a new show is going to go with your audience. In order to do that, we're going to ask 1,000 TV owners in New York if they're interested in this new program. So in this case, the individuals are going to be these TV owners that we actually talk to. These are the people that we're actually talking to. In this particular example, we're asking 1,000 TV owners in New York, so those are our individuals. What about our population? Well, we're specifically only talking to people in New York, so our population should be exclusive to New York. And in particular, we're looking at a new TV program, so we want to say our population is all of the TV owners in New York, everyone who lives in New York and has a TV. The last thing we'll try to figure out is the variable. So we're asking these TV owners if they would be interested in the new program, so the variable is their interest level. Are they interested or not? Depending on how we ask a question, this could be on some kind of scale, like if we want them to rate it 1 to 5, or it could be as simple as a yes or no. So what if we actually change this a little bit? What if we ask 1,000 TV owners in the United States? Does this change anything? Well, our individuals will still be the same. It's still 1,000 TV owners. Our variable, we're still seeing if they're interested, but our population would now move to all TV owners in the US, because now we're asking a group of people across the country.